Hey y'all, IrixGuy here. Welcome back. And this is a response to actually probably about 15 or 20 people so far, and that's how do you how do you video conference professionally? So, this is geared more towards a for someone that maybe in a work from home type position. They may not they may not have dealt with with webcams and whatnot in the past, and all they're trying to do get the best audio and video quality that they can, from their home office or whatever. So there's a few things that I've learned, and number one, it's easy to think, oh, okay, well, I'm just going to go out to to a store and pick up a webcam and assume that that webcam's going to provide the quality that that your colleagues and all of that would expect. And the reality is it's probably not. I mean, whether you're using a webcam that's integrated within a laptop, or if you've got a webcam that's a sit on top kind of webcam for your, what am I trying to say? For your, hold on one second here. I'm checking an audio thing. Okay, there we go. Yeah, whether it's a sit on top USB webcam, or just a webcam that's integrated into your laptop, or maybe you're just using your iPad or your whatever type of tablet or smartphone and using the camera and microphone built into that. You're probably never going to achieve the level of quality that you could with a more robust video conferencing solution. Now, there's a lot of it's a matter of price, and it's one of those situations where you can look at it, how prolonged might this, work from home be? I mean, is this something that's going to clear up within the next few weeks? Or is this something that could go on for many years? I mean, who knows? But whatever the case may be, having that professional video and having that professional audio from anywhere, whether it's inside of a brick and mortar office or whether it's, in an RV or a boat somewhere, what's your best solution? So thing that I found, and, what I'm using is, obviously right now I'm using my mirrorless camera, and you can find all the equipment, all the cables that I'm using linked within this video's description. But what I want to do is just address, a few questions, and I'm just going to kind of go through my list here. So let me pop open my list. Okay, here was a good question. What's the best webcam to buy? I need to work from home. Well, that's the thing. I mean, if you just need to squeak by and you don't really need the absolute best quality. Here's the thing: whether you buy let's just say $20 webcam, or let's say a $300 or $400 webcam, whatever you may choose to spend on that, the video is not going to be as good as say a DSLR or a mirrorless camera or a camcorder. So it would be in your best interest, if you want to, if you're looking for a webcam, I wouldn't go webcam. I would go, you've probably already got a camera sitting around, a DSLR, mirrorless camera, camcorder, and it's probably got an HDMI output on it. What's important, if you're going to go that route and use your own camera like I do, I'm using a Sony Alpha mirrorless, which works great, but you need to make sure that whatever camera or camcorder you choose to use has what's called clean HDMI out. That just means that when you're using the HDMI output on that camera or on that camcorder, that it's not showing the menus or any of the camera settings. It's just like this right here. It's a clean video out from that camera or camcorder. So, that's going to give you the best quality, and obviously, the type of camera you have, that's going to dictate the quality as well. Because there's some cameras that have, interchangeable lenses. There's some cameras that don't, but they're still good quality. There's camcorders that have integrated lens. There's camcorders that have, built, you can swap the interchangeable lens. So it's really a matter of what you got. But at the end of the day, you're probably going to get a lot better quality. Unless your camera or camcorder is just absolutely ancient, you're probably going to get a lot better quality from that, and then plugging it into a video capture device to your USB-C or USB port, you're going to achieve a lot better video quality from that than you would a USB, go to your store and pick up a, 30, 40, maybe a few $100 USB webcam. And the other important thing is the audio. Now, this broadcast that I'm streaming live right now to address these questions, I'm running an abundance of gear. And you can find all of it linked within this video's description. It may sound, to describe what all I use, it would probably seem to be a little bit overwhelming. But the reality is, if you want the absolute best quality for both video and audio, because keep in mind, both video and audio are important when you're video conferencing. So, if you want the absolute best, you can expand this video's description and then click the link there, and I've got all the components. And basically it's broadcast quality. So, and I'm able to, this is my green screen set right now. So I'm doing a live chroma key. This is a video that I filmed in the background from Joost Van Dyke. But this video could have also been, maybe it's some sort of corporate logo or some sort of, whatever type of, corporate branding one may want to use. I mean, it's just, you can put whatever. I could put my computer monitor behind me and I could, do a presentation and show everybody, what's going on. And likewise, I can integrate, if I want to bring people in by Skype. Oswan TV says, thank you very much. Oswan, do you have any questions, anything in particular you're curious about? I've got a list of questions from viewers. The first question was just, which USB webcam should I get? And, obviously I strongly steer people away from a webcam and go, if you're wanting more professional results, bring your own camera. The good thing is, though, if you go with a solution like I use, then, you can use most any web conferencing type tool. You could use Skype, which is actually probably the best. And, there's GoToMeeting, there's Uber Conference, there's WebEx, there's Zoom, there's BlueJeans, there's a whole list. And most of those web conferencing softwares work the same. They have speakers and they have a microphone input. So if you want to bring in tech for your needs, man, always good to have you. This little live show, Tech for Your Needs, this is a how to video conference professionally. It's my response to a lot of viewers that are working from home. How do I get the best video and audio quality? So yeah, you're not going to get the best video and audio quality from a USB webcam. Best thing to do is use PowerPoint presentations. Yeah, let's do a PowerPoint. Let's see what I got here. Let's see. Let me pull open do I even have PowerPoint installed on this computer? No, but I do have Excel. Let me pull that up. That'll be exciting. I'm going to show y'all how clean this right here is. Let's see. Got to go into the, hold on, let me clear all this stuff out here. Okay. I'm not going to bore y'all with Excel, but I mean, you get the point. I could pop open an Excel spreadsheet and let me think of something that would be cooler than Excel here. Let's see. Check this out. Yeah, I'm about to pop this up. Let's see. I said I was. Oh, yeah, here we go. No, I'm going to pull open an image editing app here. Be just a second. We're going to get this opened up here. Okay, so this is what's cool about this setup. So see, now you see me face on video, but say I'm in a, I'm hosting a meeting and I want to show, green screen is great for teaching purposes. So say I want to present, and basically what I'll do is I'll go into, let's see, let me just check my screen here. And I'm about to pull it up. Hold on just a second. So let's see. So this is how powerful this is. So basically what I can do is go to, just pop open the other screen here and show you. Let's see, view. Yeah, so like if I want to switch over to my computer screen, boom, there we go. So see, now I could go over here and I could do like a okay, well this is how to draw this, dude, and just like sit here and just draw stuff, I mean, this could be an Excel spreadsheet, this could be whatever. And then the cool thing is, too, if I want to put myself in here, so say, for example, I want people to still see me face on video while I'm presenting, there's a feature built into this, and it's actually very cool. So what I can do is do I can do what's called a floating key. Let's see, let me do that. So I'm going to do a flying key, rather. And see, then it's about to pop up. I'm in another screen. I'm going to show you. So, yeah, so now what's going to happen is you're going to see so see, there I am. So see, now I'm presenting, and I could make myself larger if I wanted to, but I'm presenting and, hey, this is how to draw, man. This is how to draw, dude. Yeah, dude, isn't that awesome? Yeah, this is how to draw. So I'm just sitting here drawing. But you can see me in the bottom right, and I can make myself larger. I could move myself to the other corner. So you can see how from a tech for your needs, to your point, from a teaching perspective, this is really nice. Also, if I wanted to, if I didn't want to just be in the corner, let's say that I wanted to go full screen. See, I could go full screen in front of what I'm drawing there. Yeah, check that out, dude. Check that out. Yeah, see? Watch this. See, I'm going to draw, man. And see, then I could just go over here and just like start drawing and stuff. And see, you can see it in the background. See, that's me. And this is all in real time. So from a training perspective, a teaching perspective, this is really cool. I mean, all this remote learning, remote teaching, there's a huge playing field that's out there right now. So you can see now I can switch back to other inputs. I could have, if this was some sort of, say I needed to share an instructional video, and let's just say this was an instructional video, I can pop up, check this out. So if I want to share something that has audio with it, and I'll just do my channel's intro as a demonstration here. But let me pop that up and I'll show you. So see, I can go to my Apple TV 4K and I can select a video clip. And then let's see. And then I can bring it up with audio for y'all. That's going to be on camera 3. So let's see, camera 3 is about to come on. Watch this. It's like anything else, you've got multiple windows, you've got multiple videos, streaming tools, and all kinds of stuff here. So I'm going to put this on loop. So see, now what I can do is I can bring up my, see, I'm going to send this over to video share. And see, now I'll bring up camera number 3, which is my video share. And you're going to see a video that I'm playing. So this could be a training video. This could be any sort of video, but in this case, it'll just be my intro. So check it out. You'll hear music. You'll see the video. And see, I can talk over that video, even with the music in the background. So see, there's that. So then I can transition back to myself. I can just do a fade in. And there I am. And when I go away, the music that was in the background, that's all gone. So being able to, to keep things personable, because ultimately, if you're an instructor, you want to be seen, face on video, and throughout any of these things that you're sharing, whether it's a video, whether it's a PowerPoint, Excel document, Word document, image editing program like I demonstrated earlier, whatever it is, you want to be able to, communicate with your students or colleagues or whatever while you're sharing all that stuff. And that's the beauty of this. This setup enables me to collaborate as if I was in the room with someone. So, that someone could be one individual in a room. It could be, a room full of people. It could be multiple participants that are brought in by way of say a, Skype video or whatever. So it's a really, really robust, piece of, not piece of tech, but robust pieces of tech. And I don't know. I mean, this is, if you want the best results, you want to get fancy with the green screen, maybe you want to pop open a, flash up a corporate logo. I can do that. Check this out. I've got my YouTube logo here. Let me pull that up. So all I got to do is do a PNG. Now, 1920 by 1080 is full HD. So see, like right now, when I go into this, I'm going to pop open a let's see. There you go. And I just put up, see, now you can see my logo in the top. This could be anywhere on the screen. All that you got to do is create a 1920 by 1080 and save as PNG format with a transparent background. And you could overlay branding. You could overlay text, whatever you want to do. And obviously, this isn't optimally placed or optimally sized. Typically, I would want to use, and I'll change it to another one just for demonstration purposes here. But typically, I would want to use something that's kind of out of the way. See, like that, IrixGuy's live show. You can see that's another PNG, 1920 by 1080. So, easy way to add branding. Likewise, if you wanted to have the name of the presenter, in a virtual classroom type environment, you could make a 1920 by 1080 image and overlay the professor's name or whatever. So, it goes without saying, I'm posting this because I had so many questions, and I've just I've gotten to one question so far, and that was what's the best webcam to use. And, obviously we know, I encourage everyone to stay away from webcams. Use a mirrorless camera, DSLR camera, or or camcorder. You're going to get better results. And use an external microphone. The camera built into most any webcam, the camera built into most any computer, the microphone rather, is not going to have the audio quality that you would get with a dedicated microphone such as this. So, keep that in mind. Not saying you have to go all out professional with this, but the small things count. And especially if you're doing it in a professional type environment, where there may be some funds available for for accomplishing your goals, you may want to go for the better quality stuff rather than just picking up a webcam for $50 or maybe a few $100s. Also, lighting's important. And I've linked all of this within this video's description, but the lighting that I use, without becoming overly technical, the lighting that I use is daylight. It's 5500K is the color temperature. And I'm using 4 panels, 2 to light the green screen and then 2 to light me. And they're all perfectly color matched, and they're not hot because they're LED. So it's when you're sitting here, you're not going to sweat. That's another problem. If you've got poor quality lighting, you may not be able to get the color just like you want. And then also, if you've got poor quality lighting, it may be hot. So especially if you're in a hot environment and then you're sitting there sweating when you're doing a web conference, that's not going to be that good, man. And so there's a lot of things to take into consideration. And the other thing is, for your environment, whether it's a dedicated room in your home or if it's a shared space in your home. If it's a dedicated room, if it's something you can put everything, if you can set up all of your web conferencing equipment, something that I like to do, because I don't share my workspace. What I like to do anyway is just get like some painter's tape or some gaff tape and put it to where the legs of the furniture go. Put it where the legs of the light stands go. Get my camera phone out, my iPhone, and snap a photo of everything set up. That way if I have to temporarily move all of my equipment, say to clean, or, say there's some sort of maintenance that I'm performing and I need to have more space in my home office, I can easily go back and reposition everything where it was, for the optimal results, because the brightness of the lights, the positioning of the lights, the angle, there's a lot of things that come into play. And, once you perfect what works best for your home office for consistent results, you probably don't want to move it around. Now, again, if you can't get around that, if you're in a shared home office space, then probably what you need to do is again, use that painter's tape, mark it up as professionally as you can. And then that way, if you have to move and, it's a situation where maybe you have to set up every morning because it's a shared space, a shared home office space. If that's the case, at least having that painter's tape around, you at least have a better understanding of where stuff needs to go to be able to achieve the same quality that you achieved during the previous day. Also, keep in mind if you've got and I need to add this to my link within this video's description because I don't have it there currently, and this is super important. So if you don't have, hold on, I'm writing it down, typing it rather. If you've got a window in your home office where you'll be video conferencing from, 2 things. Number one, the biggest problem that a window introduces is light pollution. So whether that light, the sunlight remains consistent, or whether it's fluctuating because of trees blowing, clouds moving, that sort of thing, it can degrade your video quality. So for that reason, what I would recommend is, put up some blackout curtains. And I'm going to link those. At the time of me sharing this live show, I don't have them linked there, but I'll have them linked there by, let's say, an hour from now. So by the time you're watching this video, if you're not watching it live, you can find those blackout curtains linked there. But basically what they do, unlike a traditional curtain where some light comes through, these pretty much black out all the light. And that's important because you're able to create a consistent light throughout your home office. And anytime your light's changing during a live web conference or whatever, live video conference, that's going to degrade the professionalism of your presentation. So, and then also, if you've got a window, depending upon how much outside noise you've got, that can become a problem. So, if you've got the opportunity to install some acoustic foam, again, acoustic foam is very affordable. Or you can check out on my YouTube channel my acoustic panels. If you're looking for something more permanent and even more professional, you can check those out. Sound treat your room. Make yourself the most professional person that you can. Whether you're teaching your class or whatever you're doing that requires video conferencing because of the current situation. So, and again, it is worth mentioning, I do provide video conferencing, web conferencing consulting services. So if you're looking, whether it's you as an individual or your organization, if you're looking for professional consulting services, obviously all done from remote, there's no contact or anything. It's all done remotely by way of a video conference or phone call. Just hit me up with a message on facebook.com/IrixGuy. And, I'll be happy to look at my schedule and us to find a time that would hopefully fit for that consultation. So, with that being said, I'm providing as much advice on this YouTube channel as I can. It's something I've learned, and it's something I feel that I can share. Now, obviously, if you find value in this, please be sure to like my videos, subscribe to my channel, check the link within this video's description to find all the equipment. And if you really want to support me, you go to patreon.com/IrixGuy. And, that helps me. I'm an independent YouTube channel, but, I've put together all this equipment for my YouTube live streaming, and I wanted to take advantage of the current situation to say, hey, we've got, there's more value to be shared here. So, I'm using it for YouTube, but, this same equipment is applicable for, for other use cases, teaching your students at home, etc. So, there's a lot of, and the other question I had, let's see, I've got a list of questions here. The other question was, how do you do your green screen during a live show? Well, actually, it's really not that difficult. The key to doing a green screen during a YouTube live show is to have good lighting. So that's good lighting on the subject, which is you, and then also good lighting on the green screen. Now, for the most part, if shadows appear, and I'm going to temporarily disable the green screen effect here so you can see. Let's see. Wait, I just did myself there. Hold on. So there we go. So see how green everything is when I took the green away. When I took the green screen away. This is a somewhat consistently well lit green screen. Now you can see if I put my hand close, you can see a little bit of shadows there. Optimally, someone would have a bigger workspace and they wouldn't have to be about 1.5 feet from the green screen wall. But, working with the space that I have, I've been able to make this work. And again, to make it work what I feel is quite convincingly. See, boom, there's my backdrop. And see, there's no backdrop. So it's a matter of getting that consistent green color. And, don't wear green, because if you wear green, it's not going to work. So, if you've got it somewhat well lit like mine is, and just, as few as shadows as possible, and, when you do that, you can probably achieve the results like I am here. Now, how do I green screen? Well, in the past, I would use a software tool. It's called Wirecast. It worked well, but there was an annual subscription fee for support, and I just hated to have to pay that every year, and then I didn't achieve the the level of professionalism with it like I do the ATEM and the Rodecaster Pro like I'm using now. And you can find those linked, all of this linked within this video's description. But those, what I'm using now is, so it's the ATEM Mini Pro that's doing the live green screen. Now the actual video it's just a video that I filmed myself on Yoast Van Dyke, and it's just a 4K video that I filmed with my Sony Alpha camera on a tripod. And then what I do, I've got an Apple TV plugged into one of the four inputs on my ATEM, and that's, that's continuously looping the background video. So that's how I'm green screening. Now, without using that additional video source, the ATEM itself, you could use and actually, let me do this here. You can use a still image for your background if you want to, if you don't have an additional video source. And again, I'm using Apple TV to play the background video. For that matter, you could use pretty much anything with an HDMI output. Most anything will probably, not everything, but most everything will work. So let's see, now I'm going to put up a still image backdrop. And this particular image, this is using the media tab in the ATEM Mini Pro. Let's see, I'm going to put that up here. Let me see. Yeah, so see now I'm in New York City. There's the Empire State Building. And this is just a still photo. So don't feel like for green screen that you've got to have a full motion video backdrop. Because in a lot of scenarios, something like this, it doesn't have a lot of movement. You could use a still photo and still achieve, a pretty cool effect. So that's, again, that's a photo I snapped in, I film all my own green screen backdrops and photos. I took this photo on top of Rockefeller Center in New York. So yeah, you don't have to use a full motion video backdrop. So it's, the green screening is not, see, here's another photo here too. This is one that worked well. It's kind of a beach scene. That can work. That's because you don't really see people around. There's nothing that makes it look fake. I mean, the trees aren't blowing at all, but, there's, for the most part, you may want to stick with like brick and mortar buildings and those types of backdrops to make it more, let's see, let's get I'm going to get something else out of here too and pull over just as a test. Let's see, let me go to logos here. Yeah, here's one right here. Let's see if this. Oh, that's because it's on black. Let's see. See, I mean, you can put pretty much whatever. See, and obviously I would need to resize that one to 1920 by 1080 to make it look like it should. But I mean, you get the idea. I mean, chroma key live green screen is not that difficult using this equipment. Now with some software and stuff, it can be a little bit more challenging. So, but yeah, I mean, this, again, just to recap, I mean, audio is super important. Video quality is super important. Lighting, doesn't matter what type of equipment, camera and live video streaming equipment that you have. If you have poor lighting, you're not going to achieve the quality you want. Likewise, if you've got a very noisy home office, you're not going to achieve the professionalism that you want because, the audio is just as important as the video. So, there's a lot of things to take into consideration, and something I recommend, and if you've got, just people that, you want to call up as a test, do you a trial run with several people before you go live for your, for teaching your students at home or whatever. Go test with your fellow teachers. Make sure the video's good, the audio's good. Make sure you can share your screen. Make sure that everything's legible. Do all of that, obviously, before you have your class. Because, there's so many, and that's the thing. There's professors that have been teaching for 10, 20 years that when they're presented with the challenge of having to teach from a home office, they're inevitably going to run into these technological challenges, which is not saying anything about their abilities as a professor. They're probably brilliant and they're probably, teaching good stuff. However, technology is a core component for making this work professionally, and for that reason, that's why I'm posting all these videos and why I'm letting everyone know that I do provide professional video conferencing consulting services. So, shoot me. It doesn't cost anything to shoot me a quote. For me to shoot you a quote, just message me, facebook.com/IrixGuy. Let me know what you're looking at, and, I'll say, okay, that's something I may be able to help with. And, if so, here would be my rate, so that's, that's Oswan. No problem, man. I'm just here to share. And, any questions y'all have, I've answered the green screen question, the webcam question. Oh, the other question right here. It said, I'm looking to get a microphone, nothing too expensive. What would you recommend? Well, honestly, if you want to use the hardware solution like I'm using, which, this is kind of a higher end setup, and you can find all of it linked within this video's description. But for just something basic, man, I would probably, if your needs are very simple and you've got you're plugging your mirrorless camera, your DSLR camera in by way of a video input, USB video capture rather, and then you want some quality audio, I would just go check out my Rode NT USB mic that I reviewed. And you can actually, let me get y'all a link to it. If you just want to do something really basic, that is an incredible, and again, it's not going to sound like this microphone that I'm using, but, to do something that is leaps and bounds beyond the quality of an integrated microphone in a camera or in a webcam, it's, it's definitely a huge step forward. So let me get y'all a link to that, because I don't have this linked within this video's description, because this is something I would only recommend if you're, to address your question, just something cheap, just a cheap microphone that's good. That's a very solid sounding mic. So yeah, that's what I recommend. The nice thing about it too, it comes with a base, but you can also, if you want to pop it off the base, it's a very strong magnetic type way it connects, and that'll just pop off. And you could screw it into like if you have like a microphone stand for your desk, or if you have a microphone boom pole, whatever you want to use. So it's very, and again, it just connects to your computer with USB. So yeah, that's a good option to consider. Let me see. Oh, here's the other one. I want to teach from home, but which video conferencing software should I use? Well, that's a great question. First of all, if you're a professor or whatever, check with your school or university to see what. Welcome, Brad. Welcome aboard. Brad, I'm going to be doing an IrixGuy's live show later this evening. This is a video conference professionally. If you want to tune in, I don't know if you're available later, but if you want to join Face on Video by way of Skype, I've got everything ironed out, dude. But yeah, probably what I would do is check with your school and see if they have a recommendation first, because a lot of times schools will already have like like a recommended video conferencing platform. And the reason they do that is so that they don't have to train all of their professors on multiple products. They can say, okay, this is our school standard. It's going to be blah, blah, blah. If your school doesn't have a standard, what I would recommend would be Skype. I mean, you'd be amazed at, what all you can do, face on video with Skype. Now, again, if you want to do a full-fledged, and you don't want to invest in all the hardware like I'm using that's linked within this video's description, if you just kind of want an out-of-the-box web conferencing tool that has screen share capabilities and all of that, I mean, your Uber conference is something you can check out. I would actually recommend it. I know there's some other, some of the more mainstream ones are GoToMeeting and Zoom, which those are fine. I mean, those are good tools. But what I like about Uber Conference is it's just a very clean. I feel it's a very clean interface, and I've enjoyed. Well, I use Skype, and again, I'm using all my equipment for YouTube Live, so I'm in a slightly different use case than professors out there, but the way that it works, it's all the same. I mean, the way that, technologically speaking, all of this works in the same way. So, for that reason, that's what I'd recommend. Check with your school first, see if your school has recommendations. If not, look into Zoom, look into Skype if you just care about face on video with audio, or if you really want to get into the screen share and all of that, you may find that Uber Conference is a better tool. So, so I mean, this is, let me see if I've got any other questions here. Oh, here's one. To use the hardware like you use that you've linked within your video's description, what kind of internet connection speed do I need? Well, and I'll tell you, the hardware I'm using and my internet's kind of poor. You need, at a minimum, probably about 5 megabits per second upload upstream. Right now, looking at this YouTube Live that I'm hosting, for example, my megabits per second currently is about 4.42. So I'm staying under 5. I haven't encountered buffering, so there shouldn't have been any, blips in and out during this live stream. So you would want at least 5 on the upstream, and in most urban areas, that's probably going to be easy to find. But yeah, if you've got, if you've got over 10 or 15 upstream, you're probably way awesome with this. Because with the 5 meg upstream, I can go to the lowest quality setting with my equipment, which is what you're seeing right now, but it's still good. It's still 1080p 60. So if I had faster internet, that would be even better. Brad says possibly later around 8:30 Central, not for certain, depending on time. I'll let you know. Hey, man, actually the IrixGuy's live show is probably going to be around 9 p.m. Eastern. So that would be about, that'd be about 8 p.m. Central. So yeah, if you're around then and you see it live, if you want to tune in, feel free, and I'll shoot you the Skype link if you want to Skype. So for all the teachers out there, again, I encourage y'all to share this video with all of your teacher friends, because this is, and again, I'm not claiming to be a subject matter expert, but what I can tell you is that I use this equipment extensively for YouTube live shows on my channel. And actually, later this evening, I'll have a regular live show if y'all want to tune into that. I do them several times a week, but during that live show, I'll have the intro graphic, the outro graphic. I'll probably have some guests on Skype and or phone call. So, it gets really interesting when you can see this in action. And but again, just to remind everyone, if you're looking for any of the equipment I've used, I've linked it all within this video's description. And I've still got to add those blackout curtains there, because at the time of this live show, I haven't added the blackout curtains, but I will. And if there's anything else you're looking for, just ask. The best thing to do is ask within this video's comments, and I read all my comments. Or shoot me a message directly, facebook.com/IrixGuy. If you've got questions, is there hardware you're looking for? Is there some sort of configuration that that you need help with? Do you need paid consulting services? Again, I'm always happy to offer to provide a free quote, based upon what your needs are. It doesn't cost anything to ask me, hey man, how much would you charge to assist us with that? That costs nothing. I mean, my quotes are free. And likewise, if there were services that you did choose to purchase and you were dissatisfied, pay me nothing. I stand 100% behind the quality of my consulting services. So with that being the case, I appreciate everyone tuning in. Just wanted to answer. Let me double check, see if there's any other questions for let's see. Yeah, hold on, there was another one here too. I just said, this other professor said, what are your best pointers for someone that's never live streamed before? This is what I would say. Number one, expect the first live stream to go poorly, and don't allow yourself to become upset or frustrated, because it's easy to do. Test all that you can in advance. Get with your teacher friends, get with others. I mean, it doesn't even have to be a professor or a teacher. Just get with a family member or friend, whatever, and just say, hey, would you mind doing a test? I'm going to be teaching students tomorrow. I want to make sure that all my equipment works, my lighting, my audio, my video. Do that test. Exciting world cryptos. Are you live on the beach? Actually, when I filmed this backdrop, that's a backdrop that I filmed on Joost Van Dyke, which is in the British Virgin Islands. So I put my camera on a tripod, actually the same camera that I'm live streaming with, but unfortunately I'm not on the beach right now, dude. I'm on lockdown. I am in my corona-free zone. So I wish I was there, and I can't wait to go back as soon as all this mess clears up. But expect that first live stream to go poorly, and embrace the problems, because it's the problems that after you've encountered them the first time, you'll know, okay, well, I need to check this, I need to check that. Create a checklist. As you go through your initial setup, create a checklist. And as you set up, day to day for your upcoming classes, go through that checklist. Make sure you didn't forget something, because something as simple as forgetting to unmute the audio can create 5 minutes or so of head scratching trying to figure out what's going on. So just create a checklist. And again, do multiple test calls and ask your students for feedback after the first class. Just say, hey, did you like this? Is there anything that could have been better? Ask for their honest feedback, and don't punish them if they provide feedback that's less than positive. Just say, hey, anonymous feedback is perfectly fine. That way you can gather, feedback from your friends, colleagues, and family, then feedback from your students, and then hopefully, the next day and the days going forward, the remote teaching will just become natural, and you won't have all the technological hurdles. You'll just be able to teach your students, and not have to worry about the tech. But again, if you encounter technical challenges, shoot me a message, because I do provide free quotes for my consulting services, for video conferencing consulting services. So it doesn't have to be that pricey. And if you think that it is, that's fine. I mean, a quote is free, man. If you want a quote, just ask. So with that being said, let me see if I've got any other questions that came in from teachers here. What is that microphone on your desk on the pole? Okay, this microphone, and actually you can find it linked within this video's description. Just expand this video's description and click the link there. This is a Rode, and it's specifically made for my podcaster. And I've enjoyed the audio of this, and running it through the Rodecaster just makes it really sound really cool, I think. But yeah, let's see if there's any other Will you be around Saturday if I have questions? Dude, Saturdays and Sundays, those are typically two of my heaviest work days. So, anything you need, again, just shoot me a message. Best way to get me, facebook.com/IrixGuy, because I'm here to help. And again, I will provide free quotes for my consulting services. And a lot of the stuff, keep in mind, a lot of the stuff like this, I'm just providing by way of my YouTube channel, youtube.com/IrixGuy. So you may be able to find answers just by watching my videos, and you may not even have to say, hey man, could I have a quote for paid consulting services? You may be able to find it within the videos that I've already published. And if not exactly in response to a question that you have, something that may be so similar that's like, well, he did it this way. If I do this, it may do. So, it's nothing wrong with tinkering with this kind of stuff. That's one of the best things. Tinker with your web conferencing tools and find what works best. And then, create that consistency going forward, for your future classes and all that. Consistency is king. I mean, you really got to have, if your students go into a virtual classroom one day and everything's perfect, and then the next day they can't hear you, they can't see you, that's not going to be good. It's kind of like walking into a brick and mortar classroom and it's too hot or it's too cold. That doesn't create a good learning environment. And when you're dealing with virtual teaching, your students are at home, you're at home, and you're conducting classes just like you did in the past, except you're not in that brick and mortar with the students. Those discomforts are poor audio quality, poor video quality, and just, anything like that. And you may want to consider something that I always recommend, and you may not realize this, but if you use like an iPhone or an Android, which a lot of people do, a lot of those phones, and this may vary among providers, and some providers may charge for the data rate, so be sure to check with your cell phone and make sure that you've got unlimited data for tethering. But as a plan B, say, for example, your primary internet, whether it's cable internet, DSL internet, whatever type of internet you may have at your home office, if that goes down, do you have a backup? And, something that I often do, and again, I'm not a professor, so I don't really have the level of criticality that you might, but if you have that smartphone handy, if your primary home internet went down, you could and again, check with your provider to make sure you've got unlimited data, but if you did, you could kick your smartphone into tethering mode and then connect to your smartphone with your laptop or your desktop and use your smartphone as the internet connection until your home internet, your cable internet or your DSL internet comes back up. So, that's just, it's always good to have that redundancy in there, especially, when you're teaching, you've got those students on X day for X amount of time. And if you're unable to interact with them, that's a wasted day for everyone, for them, for you. So let's see, what other questions here did we have? How long have you been live streaming? Well, actually, I've been live streaming for several years. And, mine, again, I'm not a professor or anything. I live stream to YouTube here on youtube.com/IrixGuy. So I've been doing it for several years, but I've only been doing it with this hardware for the past few weeks. And what prompted me to get the professional hardware was obviously the pandemic and, me wanting to improve my production quality, but also seeing the opportunity for, hey, I can improve my production quality, but I can probably help a lot of people. And see, I don't have to have these headphones on when I'm not web conferencing with somebody. I don't know why I kept them on. But, what I can do is, improve my production quality and hopefully provide videos like this one and all the ones linked within my ATEM Mini Pro and Rodecaster Pro video playlist that may provide you educational value. So, like I said, I've been doing it for a long time with software solutions, which when you switch, if you choose to get into something like I'm using linked within this video's description, a hardware solution is so much more powerful and so much more reliable. And I mean, I can say that after using it for only a few weeks. But yeah, I haven't considered myself to be very well versed with live streaming until the past few weeks, and that was brought on by me learning all of this equipment, and the learning curve hasn't been intense. Now, I will say, if you've never live streamed before with a software type program like I used in the past, Wirecast, which was good, but again, I had to pay that annual I had to buy the software, and then I had to pay that annual support fee or whatever. And it's just like, man, if I just bought hardware, sure, the hardware is expensive, but after X number of years of use, it'll pay for itself. But it's just so much better. I mean, this entire live stream that you've been watching now for how to video conference professionally, this entire live stream has streamed directly from my hardware device, my ATEM Mini Pro, and it hasn't dropped once. I've got a little studio monitor over there where I can see that there's been no buffering, no caching. This live stream has remained 100% rock solid. So, that's the level of professionalism that I can achieve now that I could not achieve with my old software solution. And a lot of that's because my old software solution, I had older computers at the time, even though they should have been powerful enough. A lot of the workload was on the computer versus this dedicated live streaming equipment. So, yeah, I would say I've been doing it hardcore for the past few weeks, but recreationally for the past few years with other equipment. And I mean, in the past, I was even using USB webcam. So, I mean, I was using some pretty poor quality stuff. And I mean, now I'm not. Now I'm using good equipment. But let's see if there's another question that came in here. Do you see any disadvantages when it comes to teaching from remote? Well, I mean, obviously one of the disadvantages, and again, I'm not a professor, but I can try to answer your question. One of the disadvantages that I see is that, you don't have eyes on each individual student's desk, and which, there's a lot of people they have a lot of professors that have that control issue. And, they feel like if they're not, physically in the same brick and mortar as a student, that they can't control what's going on. The reality is that what you may find, even with students that would want to goof off or whatever, what you may find is that by them being at ease and being at a, and potentially a more comfortable work environment, they're working remotely, so they're happy too. They're attending a class from home or wherever they want to be. And, you may find that they're actually more attentive because they don't have as many distractions. They don't have other students in the class. They're just able to do, and, what I would do is, like anything else, I mean, with this being a virtual classroom type environment, ask questions, and not necessarily because you have to ask a question, but just ask questions to see who answers, and maybe make a practice of randomly choosing one of your virtual students, and nobody would ever know who it's going to be or when it's going to be, and that just keeps everybody attentive because they know that their name could be called at any time. If they don't respond, maybe your school has some sort of 3 strikes policy or something. Who knows? I mean, I don't know. I think that the work from home is actually, I think that it's been something that has been on the cusp of being created, but it wasn't until the pandemic hit us that we discovered, hey, this is necessary because of the pandemic. But, oh, you know what? Even if there wasn't a pandemic, look at all the value add that this has provided. Lesser fuel cost, less, your laundry bills go down. I mean, yeah, you got to, when you're faced on video, you got to wear a nice looking shirt or whatever, but, your laundry costs go down because you're not doing as much, outside of the home office. So there's a lot of, and you're not having to go out to get stuff to eat. You just got your refrigerator, you got your pantry, you just make whatever you want to eat. So there's a lot of cost saving advantages to the work from the work at home student model, because, you got these students at home, and not to mention the educational institutions, their utility costs are reduced. any sort of maintenance costs. You got to clean all the restrooms. You got to do, all these things. And when you've got a virtual classroom, you're saving money, but your educational institution is saving money, so it's kind of a win-win. The disadvantage is that a lot of people crave that those real-world interactions, and obviously those real-world interactions, they're faced on video with good audio, but they're not. A lot of people wouldn't deem that as an authentic interaction. But I think what we're going to see, the shift, not just because of the pandemic, but the pandemic has obviously pushed us in that direction, is, the way that societies interpret what is an authentic interaction. Does it require, two human beings to be within the same physical space, or if two human beings are within the same virtual space, should that be classified as an authentic interaction? That's only something that time will tell, and it's open to interpretation. So with that being said, those look like all the questions that I have so far from the professors in the audience, and I appreciate all your questions. Again, if you're looking for any sort of consulting for your work at home students, shoot me a message, facebook.com/IrixGuy, and I'll provide you a free quote. And again, there's no obligation to use me for any of your consulting services. All my consulting services are provided by way of video conferencing and or telephone. So there's no contact, there's no travel cost. It's just all done virtually. If it works, boom. Hey, pay me what was quoted. If it's not, or you're just dissatisfied with it, pay me nothing. I stand 100% behind the quality of my consulting services. So with that being said, I appreciate everyone tuning in. And Brad says, have you heard of it considered going to drone? Have you ever heard of it considered going to drone spin up? Let's chat drones during this evening show, and I hope to be back. Let's see, it is, what is that, about, probably about 3 hours from now. Around, I plan to go live with IrixGuy's live shows this evening around 9 p.m. Central. So anybody out there that's not a professor, or even if you are a professor, feel free to tune in 9 p.m. New York City time, 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to have a live show. It's going to be a little bit of everything. This was just this how to video conference professionally. This was geared towards the professors in my audience that had a lot of questions regarding how to handle their remote students. I mean, they've got classrooms and they're the professor, but they've got their students at home and everywhere. So, greetings from Austria. Oswan, very nice, man. Austria, can't wait to get over there after coronavirus clears. Actually, Europe's on my to-do list. I've never been to Europe. I've been halfway across the pond to Bermuda a few times, but I've never been to Europe. With that being said, everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up, but I will be back for IrixGuy's live show around 9 p.m. New York City time this evening. Y'all have a good one.